Welcome to the CFG Gamecast episode number 9, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and we release it out to the podcast services such as with Apple and Google Podcast, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love. Follow us on our Twitch channels. Check us out on any of the podcast services. And so we know that we're growing and we're all growing together. I'm Davis Green, the CFG with CFG Games, and with me are a group of fellow gamers. I have with me today, once again, I have Super Franky, who just recently did a Franky review of the 1UP arcade machines, which you should definitely check out on youtube.com/thecomicfreaky. And it's freaking awesome. You should check that out. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Really good. Actually,
yeah. Now you're like hooked on those arcade 1UP machines. Did you just buy some more?
Yeah, I bought some more. I originally had the 3 you see in the video, which is like Street Fighter, Final Fight, and the Galaga. I just picked up Asteroids and Mortal Kombat 2 cabinets, and they're nice little machines. They're fun.
You should do like something like you should try to play like 2 machines at the same time and see if you can get the high score on both of them and see if that's a Guinness record. That'd be awesome.
The only game I've sort of done it with is I did 2 players with Metal Slug on one machine, and that was tough. I was playing through Metal Slug X, and that was pretty cool. But I've never tried that. I might have to do that.
You're like, hey, that's not a good idea. Play Ghouls and Ghost and Metal Slug. That won't kill you at all.
Ghouls and Ghost was the reason I bought that cabinet, because Ghouls and Ghost is one of my favorite all-time games. I grew up on that. That was like one of my first NES games.
Oh, see, that's
ever.
tight.
Yeah, that is a classic.
Yeah, so I love that game.
Yes, awesome. And with me, I have the leader of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the third seat. What is up, brother?
Yeah. What is going on? How are you guys doing? Welcome, and thank you for being here with us, interwebs.
Yes, and the interwebs is always glad to see everyone together. Yes, it's going good, man. Unfortunately, Sesh wasn't able to make it because she is partying it up at a convention, so can't blame her on that.
Yo, she stays grinding.
Oh my god, yeah. You know what's funny? Like I was looking at the list of stuff that was going on this weekend, because Flexus is doing Combo Breaker up in Chicago.
Combo Breaker.
Yeah. Then we have people over at Phoenix Comic Con or Phoenix Fan Fusion. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Comic Con. Shame.
Yeah.
Can't call that.
Then we have some more people going on at Fanime in San Jose, and I have another group of people over in Georgia doing MomoCon. So that's like 4 different things going on at the same time. And I'm just like, my god, this is crazy. So yeah, I haven't had time to play anything this weekend so far. So. Yeah.
That's how the week has been for me. It was super, I did some freelance work and stuff like that, so I really didn't get a lot of chances to game it up this past week. I've got some in, obviously, the last couple of nights being stream nights and whatnot, and then I did a lot of playing and chilling out today, so it was nice. I was able to catch up and whatnot.
Well, what were you playing?
Division 2, trying to level up, man, so we can get through that. So we went through the raid. We tried to do the raid last week after the podcast and whatnot, and we learned the mechanics. Couldn't get past the first. We did get destroyed. We did. The LFG worked though. We were able to LFG people in to be able to fill the group, and as people were leaving, we kept like filling it and stuff like that. But yeah, I know me personally, I didn't feel like I was doing enough DPS. The mechanics make sense, but I watched the video and I saw like you got to do some serious DPS when you knock them down. And then stay on top of that heals and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, not only that, but everyone has to be on top of it too. Like we can't have like roamers doing like stay like when he goes down and you pinpoint that chest, because unfortunately you have the dude heals certain periodic times and he just goes right back, so all your work could be completely wiped out in less than a minute. It's ridiculous, but it's hard, but I was having fun, so we're gonna beat that.
I was having fun too.
Yeah, we're gonna beat it, dude. We're gonna beat it sometime. So
I agree.
All right. Well, as always, let's get down to it. Let me pull up my thing. Where did I go? There we go. Here we go. Each of us picks a new topic of discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry. We don't want to talk about just our own topics. We also want you, the listener or the viewer, to participate in it as well. So up at the top, if you go into a different channel, there's going to be a spot there that says CFG Gamecast Topics. Put in anything you want. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just any topic that you want us to discuss at the end of the show. We choose one, and then we will put it. We will put it on for the stream. I think last week we were talking about favorite popcorn or favorite, like, what was it? We did, like movie candies and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was actually quite interesting.
That was a tasty discussion.
Yeah, we also we also do a little bit about other people hating popcorn, and I guess that was me. But still, but yeah. So you can check it. Yep, you can check it out over, or just email your topic at the CFG at confreaksandgeeks.com. Okay, so since you're hosting on your channel, Smitty, why don't you go first, and we'll go from there.
All right. So for me, I know a lot of times that they've had these, discussions, especially in government and stuff like that, on the loot box controversy. Legislation has been brought up again for banning and doing rid of loot boxes. From what I've seen, whoops, I did not mean to do that. From what I've seen, and read a little bit. It is a Republican senator out of Missouri that is introducing this bill, and basically they're saying it as a Protecting Children from Abusive Games Act. I'm kind of torn on this because number one, I absolutely agree. To me, it does feel like and let me explain it. It does feel like a form of gambling to me. When it's a pay to win, like I can get better equipment that's going to make me better at the game. That to me, I don't believe in that at all. If it's cosmetics, I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? You grind it out, you're playing a certain amount of hours and stuff like that. I think it's cool to be able to do that, be able to get skins and accumulate that stuff. So that's gonna, again, how they define that as far as what they're saying is legal and not legal on that end. But it looks like, and it sounds like they're going to be moving forward, or this is going to probably be one of the best shots that it has to move forward here in the United States. I know that over, I think it's in Europe, isn't it banned? Like loot boxes and a couple other places, that stuff is completely banned. So certain I wouldn't be surprised.
I believe certain areas, I believe Belgium has proved it to be super banned. Was banned, but like not all of Europe is on board quite yet.
Oh, right. Right. But even the fact that there are any countries that have gone forward with it, I think this might be a good shot for them to actually pass some sort of legislation here in the States. The con to this, however, though, is when you start messing with companies' money, they'll find other ways to make that money. And what does that mean for us? No more loot boxes, but now the games are going to cost $80 and over $100 in Australia, or you know what I mean? Because they're going to make up for that money. They're going to say, well, the law says we can't do this. We got to make up for this so we can be profitable, even though year after year they're making record profits. We're going to get, this is a tough spot because no matter where it, go, I see it's kind of like that double-edged sword. You know what I mean? Either they continue and again, I don't know how you get, we'll hear soon how you guys feel about loot boxes and that stuff. But you know what I mean? We'll continue down that sales model, if you will, them just giving us incomplete products and throwing loot boxes in and people paying, I can't get on board with that. But at the same time, if it does start getting regulated, where is that monetary shift? Where's it going to shift to? Because it's going to shift somewhere. It's not going to just disappear. Yeah. It's going to shift somewhere, so I don't know. It's definitely something I'm going to be following for sure.
I feel that there is a little bit of a slip. You're totally right. I personally think that it's a slippery slope. This is a real gray line. This is the problem because my whole biggest problem is this. You're right. Pay to win services, completely understandable. That should be 100% banned. I agree too. Yeah, and I definitely think that they should never do that to say, oh, you want the real ending? Well, you only have to pay $10 for us to do that. That's really petty, and it should not. And when you already paid $60 games. Now, when it comes to cosmetic, that's also a gray line to me because the thing it's just like when you go to one of those concession stands or the crate games. When you play the crate game, you're paying $5 or $1 or whatever to get your chances to get that one toy, but you didn't get that toy instead. You get something else that you didn't go in, and you do it again. I kind of feel that shouldn't really. I don't think that it should be regulated because like it's just a matter of who's typing? What is that?
I'm so sorry. That's me. I apologize.
I'm like trying to figure out who that is. I'm like, what is going on? But so like I kind of feel like the biggest problem is that like when you try to regulate something like that, because they're going to say that's gambling. I mean, it is gambling. I mean, let's not sugarcoat that as gambling, but it's also, it's just chance. And then the only reason why that that I don't think it should be a level of regulation towards it because like when you have an idea, like for instance, Overwatch has probably is really successful because the ways are these loot crates that you're getting from this, but people know from the start that these chances to get this is still like it's still limited, but it's not incredibly unfair, or you're not paying like, oh, here's $10 for you to have a better chance to roll for this thing. You're basically just saying, okay, here's $10, I got 10 crates, let's see what I get out of those 10 crates.
Yeah,
I mean, and I don't think there's a problem with that. I mean, now depending on saying, okay, there's obviously an algorithm of like saying, okay, you're going to get a 40% chance you're going to get common stuff, 30% chance you're going to get some stuff that's rare, and maybe like purples or incredibly rares. It's a lower chance. That's how it normally is in real life. is where I'm coming from. But like, yeah, I'm sorry. What were you going to say, Frankie?
Well, like when you were saying Overwatch is probably one of the few, I think, games that do loot boxes right compared to the other ones. Because yes, it is cosmetic, and yes, you aren't going to put money in and get the one costume you want, but they do give you a good amount of in-game currency just playing the game. Like you're going to be getting coins from those loot boxes you get for free, let alone the ones you buy. I have put some money in Overwatch just because I love it so much, but as a whole, I've never really, like, even when I ran out of like funds in the game, I've accumulated so many points to get all the costumes I've ever wanted. I've never really had too much of an issue.
Oh, you're smiling, Smitty, so you have something in mind.
I'm guessing you put a lot of money into it?
No. Sorry, I was smiling about something else. I was reading chat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frankie.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. But I mean, but yeah, there are quite a few other games that just don't do it right at all. Like you said, the play to win, totally bad, should not be a thing at all. Like, I think the main culprit of those is mobile games, right? Because I think the only console game I could think of that did that was Battlefront, right?
Battlefront, Lord of the Rings was another one. You know, surprisingly,
Lord of the Rings was a single player experience.
Well, like, I mean, it's still. Like you had to pay. There was a paywall. There was a paywall to get the real ending. I mean, like that's insane. The second
was there?
one, the second one, there was a paywall to get the real ending.
I thought it was. Well, wasn't it like a bunch of crap you had to do? Like you had to keep playing these runs of like what are they like not tower defense, but weren't there like these like I
don't know, but I mean like okay, let's take off Lord of the Rings, Mass Effect 3. Okay. Mass Effect 3 was one. I mean, you had to get the tree. Well, I'm sorry, not Mass Effect 3.
No, the real ending was free. It was a free DLC.
Not Mass Effect 3. Battlefield 3. You could pay to get all the guns at the beginning. Of the game.
Once again, EA again.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you can't. I mean, those kind of things are ridiculous. You shouldn't do it because you're basically saying, "Hey, let's play Mario Brothers." Hey, but if you pay another $40, you unlock everything. What's the point of playing the game at that point? But
so, what do you think about they're not loot boxes, but where you pay for experience and stuff like that.
Like boosts?
Or you pay for experience boosts. Like I know Assassin's Creed Odyssey does like $20 or $10, you get 50% experience boost and shit.
I don't think I honestly don't. I'm not usually for those either, but like it's like I said, it's a weird slippery slope to me when it comes to that. There's like, you know what they need to do? They just need to sit down and they need to figure out, this is what, like, okay, like you said, I think the biggest culprit of this is going to be MOBAs. Not MOBAs, but online
mobile games.
Yeah, mobile games, because like
those are the majority of them. Like, what was it? Castle Clash Royale is one, right?
Grand Blue Fantasy, all these different ones, like Fantasy Star, not Fantasy Star, but like, you know, Fire Emblem, all those kind of games that like says, okay, you need to get a 4-star hero to get to this point, but like it is incredibly rare to get those 4 stars. You have to, and then the only way you can upgrade is you have to get the same guy like 6 times to get to the next level. It's like that kind of stuff is a pyramid scheme. It's where I look at it. But like when it comes to just cosmetic, I don't know, Smitty. I would have to say no. They don't need to regulate that. I don't think that. I mean, like the way I commonly see now. The only thing they could regulate is the algorithm on how common or how often those things drop. So like they can't say you get like 100 of commons all the time and you get the same duplicates. That could be something they could regulate.
And I think that they did. I think there are some regulations in place that if you spend a certain amount of money or something like that, you have to be guaranteed like a certain tier drop, just because there has to be a monetary value.
A gold is a rare is guaranteed within like 52 boxes. So if you happen to buy 52 boxes, you're going to get at least 1 gold. Stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. So it's like I don't have it, but like the free stuff, yeah, you're right. I don't think that there has to be any kind of regulation towards that. The thing is though, is how do you then do you differentiate between the two? Do you then, regulate one whereas the other one's like, well, this is exempt because there's no monetary value to it? Or are you just saying no in general, regulations?
Well, see, I'm saying there has to be partial regulation, but I think the level of regulation towards cosmetic is nothing. That's gonna be like it shouldn't be. It should not. There shouldn't really be like cosmetic wise. If they can get it to a level of like how often these things drop, and they can pinpoint how often to say it's a level of fairness on what you're getting. I'm perfectly cool with that. But I think certain things has gone away with it. Like I said, like mobile is probably the worst ones of them all because everything is it's freemium. They go to that freemium model that they are depending on you to spend money to get to get the chance of what you're needing to get. Like I remember, what was it? I think it was Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. I love that game. Yeah, I loved that game for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden they changed their payment system, and then it made it mandatory to get these 6-star things, which was virtually impossible to get. Or you can get a 6-star, but there was so many limiters for you to get up to it. It's like it's going to take you a lot of money and a lot of time just to get to that point. That's unfair, in my opinion. What
was the Final Fantasy game where you tap the characters and they go and attack?
That's Brave. Yeah, that's Brave.
That's not Brave Exodus.
Oh, you mean the one?
They're all pixel. They're all pixel characters. You have to touch the screen as much as you can, and you get rare characters from all the Final Fantasy games. I put money into that, and I regret it. Was that Brave Exodus?
Yeah. That's Brave Exvius.
They got you.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff definitely needs to have some sort of like regulations on what you can do, because that one is depending on people to put money in on it for it to survive. But the second that they're going to mess with like how Overwatch is doing it, or how even how Division 2 is doing it, and stuff like that. Well, what does it say? Is that
all the bravest.
All the bravest.
Okay.
That one I put so much money into with those stupid loot box characters because I wanted to get Fran. I wanted to get these characters, and I'm like, they gave me like freaking stupid characters. Like I don't want
Shadow or Edge or any of that.
Yeah. But here's an Onion Knight from Final Fantasy 3. I'm like,
I mean, but overall,
that's how they get you.
Okay, but here's a good question. Like, has anyone, from the most part, ever complained how Overwatch did their loot crate systems?
they have the least complaints out of everyone.
Yeah.
I have not seen. I'm sure there are out there, but I'm not seeing it as much as what you would see, like how EA or any other ones has done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or anything like that, because that shows they did it right. And then, and that's and I feel like there's definitely an environment where people can do it right. If you want to do it right, then just probably copy it from how Overwatch is doing it.
And it helps, like, unlike some other games where, like, you know, a lot of these other games, they're not around forever, or they, you know, make a new game every couple years. Overwatch is one of those games where they made one game in 2016 and they do nothing but free content, and you can still buy the game for like $20, $30 sometimes. So, like, you know, it's not. Yeah, getting all the other stuff for free is also a nice plus. Seeing that, if I really want to get more costumes, I can put money into it, but otherwise, I'm getting everything I want nonstop for free. So I think that's another reason why they get a pass, because constant free updates.
Well, it's not even only the pass though, too, because I mean, technically they set it up for success. I mean, it's not like even just the pass itself. They had an idea on how this was going to work. They had an infrastructure. They had an infrastructured and the deliberate system of how the extra payment was going to work for us to be longevity. Because this is on their. What year are they? Are they on their third year or fourth year? I can't remember. I think they're
2016. So this is the third year. This is the third year anniversary, like this month.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, it is going. The event's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. So like, I mean, they planned it out. They did it correctly. And they don't need to worry about it. Like Siege is another one, in my opinion. Rainbow Six Siege is the same thing, though, too, with their level of cosmetics that they've. It's been around. It's been around for years. It's been around for like at least 3 years. I mean, it was really slow at the beginning, but now it's picked up to a point where you see a lot of different cosmetics and stuff like that. And then it's like, I mean, it's possible, is what I'm saying. I don't think that they should regulate that, but they should. They need to look at something else beyond that. That I think is the bigger problem. Is my point. Is my level. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so soapbox. I'm off the soapbox. All right.
I mean, it's one of those things, man. That's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna see where it goes. We'll see where they go with it.
Oh yes, I totally. Yeah, I just hope that they do the right thing. That's all I pray. But it's a Republican in Missouri, so we'll see how that's going to go too. So that's already 2 strikes in myself. But I'm just kidding. But still,
but you totally cut out.
Yeah, you cut out.
Yeah.
I said it's a Republican. It's a Republican in Missouri, so let's see where that's going to go. That's already 2 strikes in itself. So we'll see. But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Shots fired. Just kidding. I don't want anything to be like, how dare you? No, I'm good. No. All right. Frankie, you're up at bat. What is your topic?
All right. So it actually happened today, but the World Health Organization has just decided, they've been working on it with the International Statistical Classification of Diseases, and they added video game disorder to that. So the ICD-11 is what it's known. It's a video game disorder is now officially a thing. And I'm going to go ahead and bring you, let you know what affects, like what constitutes as a video game disorder, like if you have it. So a pattern of persistent and recurring gaming behavior, which may be online or offline, manifested by 1, here's the first one, impaired control over gaming. So like your frequency, intensity, and duration of how much you game. 2, increasing priority given to gaming to the extent that gaming takes precedence over other life interests and daily activities. So pretty much you do gaming before, bathing or before eating or before doing anything that you need to do in your life. And number 3, continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. The behavior pattern is of sufficient severity to result in significant impairment in personal, family, social, educational, occupational, and other important areas in functioning. So pretty much if just gaming is everything. So this has just got, they talked about this last year, and they were going to work on making this an official thing, but trying to remember, something pushed it back. The ESA and other organizations in the video game industry pushed back the decision on making it an actual thing. So, but as of earlier today, it's official, And as of January 1st, 2022, video game disorder is a thing. So what are your guys' thoughts on video game disorder being a thing? Like, personally, I've been gaming forever. I guess there could be some people out there. I would presume, okay, this is out of the blue. I'm not trying to pinpoint anything. I presume some people maybe with some mental illnesses might be more affected by something like this. But I think a normal consumer or person is not going to have a gaming disorder, but I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think?
Why don't you go for it? Well, go for it.
For me, I've seen effects of something like this, and I think on a personal level, I'm not going to name any names or anything like that. Yeah. But
come on,
someone I know, and
no naming names.
Yeah, spill the beans. Spill the beans. They basically their life became the video games about video games. It was World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
what it is, and that's the reason why I will never pick up that game, because I also have an addictive personality. You know what I mean? So I already inherently know that. You know what I mean? Like if I know that's in there within me, but to watch somebody where they're just kind of not, devoid of responsibility, not doing, everyday things that should be and need to get done. I absolutely think it's a real thing, and I think it affects more people than we realize. Again, it's hard for me to fathom being that deep into a game, but I've seen myself. I used to be huge into Destiny, like like I'm talking about like just ruining relationships and stuff like that. Because look, we got raid tonight. Oh, you want to do something? Nah, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna drink some beers, and I'm gonna do this raid for like 10, 12. 16 hours, you know what I mean? Like it's some real stuff. So it's like I could see how it's easy to cross that line, and you know what I mean, depending on again, I don't think it's just it definitely is coupled with some other things and that are within a person's character or personality. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's just I just think that there's something there that again, you get a good feeling from playing video games. I do. Yeah. So you're just kind of I always want to I always want to do that, and not only that, but now it's it's a lot more socially acceptable, to communicate and meet people online and stuff like that. So it's like, well, why wouldn't I be online? Why wouldn't I? I'm socializing. I'm, this and that. But then, at the same time, I'm not washing my ass, or I'm not, going and getting groceries, or you know what I'm saying? It's a slippery slope again. And I think it's, I could see this. To me, I think this is legit, and I'm curious to see and kind of where they explore and what they learn and stuff like that from this.
I'm kind of impartial personally. I'm not really and I really hate when they because like when they say that this is a disorder, they're classifying this as an eating disorder, essentially, like kind of like that kind of level of stuff, like gaming and disorder,
that type of
and stuff like that. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me. I mean, like it's hard to look at to think kind of outside of the box towards this, but like because the biggest thing is, like, you're right, like there's multiple factors, in my opinion. Like there's multiple factors to kind of get to that point. You don't just get to that point is where I would.
There's probably other personal things in your life, like family related, or
exactly, because like my biggest fear is this. Yeah, my biggest fear is this, and this is the biggest problem I have when they make things disabilities or disorders and stuff, is that means that they're going to have a reason that this could be the crutch of something happens, like let's say, heaven forbids, like Columbine or a school shooting, that they're going to say, oh, this person had this kind of disorder. And that means, and that
they're blaming it on video games.
Completely takes the responsibility off of the individual to do that kind of thing. And then they're going to say, "Oh, it wasn't him. This guy's a good kid, but it's because of his disorder that made him go into it." And that's where I always struggle. Is just that, like, it's like, yes, there are people out there that have that love gaming to a point that they just totally void everything out, like responsibilities and everything out there. But once again, this is not something that you just come and occur. It occurs to it. It's something that you've constantly been, like, it's either been groomed, you've been groomed into it, or it's either that you were just accepted to go, instead of doing your homework, your parents didn't just no one cared, and you could just play for 20 hours in without no one ever doing anything about it. It's really tough because like I don't have an opinion. I can safely say I don't have an opinion on it because like I don't like it when they do this because now it's gonna be once again. I feel like this is gonna be another reason why someone's going to void out responsibility if anything happens. I mean, if any sort of circumstance happens, it's like, oh, this person's not doing good at school. Oh, because he has this kind of personality. He has it says saying, oh, he had ADD. He has video game disorder.
Like, oh, he has a video game disorder.
Because I know that's what's going to end up happening, and that's probably what ESA was fighting for. Was because of because it's going to be so easy. Because like the biggest problem,
there'll be more meds too.
Well, exactly. Because the biggest problem I've had, and it's the funniest thing I've had was. Like when I talked to, I had a coworker that was like 50-something years old, and he strongly believed that all the bad stuff, the shootings and stuff like that, was because they were playing games like Grand Theft Auto and something like that. And so like I'm just saying that like that's just going to open up a door of that kind of stuff, and I kind of feel impartial, like saying yes, people who will have that needs help will definitely need to seek help for it, but to call it a disorder is. I mean, or to call it an official disorder where you're going to have to take medicine and stuff like that for it is a little too extreme to me.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, yeah. And like I said before, like I'm not saying that there's no such thing as a disorder for this because there sure as hell is because like people who lived through World of Warcraft, I mean we all lived through all that nonsense, that craziness, and then you even admitted with Destiny 2 as of late, and then like I was a big Final Fantasy 11 fan back in the day too, and then I can probably admit there's times where I voided a responsibility and just wanted
I've
to
done
play
that with
for
Monster
5, 6
Hunter.
hours. Yeah,
I've done that with Monster Hunter. I've taken like when Monster Hunter 3 came out. I took off so much time from work. I ignored things. I had bags under my eyes.
Right?
Me and my friend. I could see it, but like, it's man. It just seems like such a big thing.
It's I just feel it's so extreme in my opinion. I really feel like it's so extreme to say that this is a disorder, but at the same time, it's like yes, this is a serious issue that we need to figure out and to do it. But I really don't think that either pills, maybe I mean, I think at best maybe talking about like psychiatrists and then like a strong like natural change of things. Like you can't you might be the person that you say that you have a very addicting personality, so you may not want to be playing games. Just like an alcoholic, don't want to be staying away from the bottles. You may have to stay if it's that extreme. Stay away from the gaming, unfortunately. But like, oh man, I don't know. I mean, that is so interesting.
I'm addicted.
So what is it though? What is it though about the fact that it's considered, or because it sounds more like it's a hang up on the word disorder than the fact that there's actually something that, you know what I mean, people do have an issue with. But like, what does like calling something a disorder, like, does that put that into a different classification? Or, you know, because I mean, even I mean, take away that, I would imagine the treatment would still be the same. And I'm not for feeding people meds and stuff like that. Or do you just think it's more of people's mentality and thoughts toward it are then, you know what I mean, they're like, oh, but it's a disorder, so you know what I mean, it kind of ramps it and like kind of levels it up.
Right.
It's probably gonna be more like communication. Like they're gonna be like circles and groups of people. Like, oh, they all have disorder. They have to talk about their stuff. Because I know people who have like other type of disorders and like, you know, like almost like Alcoholics Anonymous and stuff like that. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be more like that. I mean, there might still be meds and stuff, but I'm not sure what they would do other than make you tired.
I think extreme level will have to be like meds.
Like okay, you're gonna be so tired you can't play games, so you're gonna be sleeping and then doing whatever you have to do to live. But yeah, I think it's gonna be more like a social communication groups and stuff.
I would seriously think that. Yeah, I think that would probably be the best way to do it. But like, I mean, come on, dude. There's like, well, usually when they call something a disorder, that means there's going to be there will be the extreme cases where there's going to be drugs that are going to be involved to kind of even you out to do it, and that's right. Where I kind of don't agree with is where you call it a disorder when you call it an official disorder. Because I mean, it is a disorder. There's no arguments about that. That strongly is a disorder. But I don't know if you would want to like I don't think it's a disorder where you could just where a doctor you go to a family doctor and then they say, hey, you have gaming disorder.
You're right. It's gonna be a psychiatrist based one.
Yeah, or something like Yeah. So, I mean, that's where it's kind of 50-50. But then again, like I said, I do have friends that were like this too before. And then when I think about it, but like at the same time, I kind of want to see the level of extreme. The biggest thing is that people just need to be responsible of their own actions when it gets to this level of extremity, because it's easy to point the finger to a gamer saying, "Oh, this person shut up this school because he doesn't know the difference between real life and fantasy." It's like everyone knows shooting a person is bad. All right, I would surely as hell. I will give benefits of the doubt that people will have to know that if you shoot a person randomly, it is bad. So, to say that they don't know the difference between that means that you are beyond there's something more psychologically wrong that needs to be addressed, and just to kind of put the discussion out there rather than just saying and say, but still take responsibility of what you are doing. Because I mean, when a person comes in and does the most heinous thing, and then they point it to one of these issues, it is one of the most sickening things. It makes me sick to my stomach. It's like you're not taking responsibility of any of that. It's like it's ridiculous.
Right.
It is flat out ridiculous, and that's what I'm worried about. And that's where I feel like it's so easy to put the trigger to gaming, saying that was the reason why that person did what he did. Yeah. So I mean, that's just me. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to add to it?
No, that was the gist of it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I hope I'm not making enemies on that, but that's just me.
No,
I don't think so. I totally understand what you're saying, and yeah, I totally feel the same way, because you know that someone is going to take advantage of that in some way, shape, or form. And then obviously there's going to be other people looking for the monetary value in it, because it absolutely has financial implications that'll be tied to that, I'm guessing. So yeah, I totally get that.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. So, all right, that's a really good discussion. I like that one, Frankie. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. And before we do our last topic, just wanted to let everyone know again, if you have a topic that you want Smitty, Frankie, or I to discuss on this episode, you can always check up to the top to CFG Gamecast specific area where we filter everything out. Just type in what you want us to hear, what you want us to talk about. We won't call y'all out or anything saying, "Oh, this person wants to say ask us to do this," but we want to hear what you think we should discuss, and if you have want to know what our opinions are. So just go onto the top area to CFG Gamecast, and we will discuss it at the end of our topic here. So the last topic is going to be my topic itself. And it is about I don't know how we would not talk about this topic for this week. It was about Tfue and FazeG Clan. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of that, Frankie?
No, I'm the one that knows nothing about this. In all honesty, I don't follow too many of the popular Twitch players, so yeah, I'm not too familiar with this. So you guys are gonna be teaching me everything right now.
I'm not really big on. I mean, I know who Tfue is, but I don't really watch it because I don't really play Fortnite. But Tfue is a big Fortnite player. He streams a lot of Fortnite, and he's sponsored. He's teamed up with FazeG Clan and is part of a clan specifically for Fortnite. So he does his own streaming. He goes to tournaments, and he goes to different kinds of things and social media and stuff on behalf of FazeG Clan. So his foot is in the so he's in a professional. He's a professional gamer that streams Fortnite. So it's all cool. But beginning of the week. And it seems like it's getting worse, like not really worse, but it's getting crazier and crazier when you hear about it. Tfue, with his lawyer, is suing his company, FazeG Clan, because he was saying that it was limiting him to getting like, you know, opportunities to like outside opportunities to of revenue because of the thing that he signed with that clan. Not only that, but the split that he gets for everything he does, the stream, the games. Let's say he gets first place and so on. He only gets 20% out of it. So it's a 20-80 split of it. So FaZe Clan gets 80. He gets 20, and so there was something on. Surprisingly enough, ESPN even put a thing about it, and then there was a point of that he pointed out, and he says, "We're shocked and disappointed to see the news of Tfue's press article and lawsuit." This is on FaZe Clan's side. This is over the course of our partnership with him. We began in 2018. FaZe Clan has collected 0 tournament winnings, Twitch revenue, YouTube revenue, and from the side of the social platform, zero. So he's saying that they didn't touch anything. And he says we have only collected a total of $60,000 from our partnership, while Tfue has earned millions as a member of FaZe Clan. While contracts are different with each player, all of them, including Tfue's, have a maximum of 20% to FaZe Clan in both tournament winnings as well as content revenue, with 80% to the player. In Turner's case, neither of those have been collected by FaZe Clan. So FaZe is throwing shade back to Tfue on this, but overall, it's still a 20-80 split that is supposed to. They say they're still saying that it's supposed to be that Tfue's getting more of the money, and I think I'm on Tfue's side on this, because it's like it has to be bad. It has to be bad. Just this, like the Riot thing with Riot Games, and when 5 people stepped up and said, like, you know, this is just a toxic work environment. It has to be bad for you to say, I need to sue these people so I can get better opportunities on where I'm at. Like, I mean, this isn't like a one-time instance. This has been something that he probably dealt with a year of traveling with FaZe Clan and stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to judge until everything is out and says what's going on. But from what I'm gathering, there's more to it than what's going on, because there's no way that they're coming out as angels on this. The biggest thing that this reminds me of, like I was hinting at you, Smitty, earlier, was this kind of reminds me of NWA. You remember, like, back in the day? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's kind of the same kind of... Yeah, the same kind of break. It's the same kind of break, because this is the beginning of, like, this is like right now we're in an infantile state of professional gamers needing to be in clans, needing to be in groups. They may not know the business side as well as they want to know the business side of it. And then when the business wants to come and swoop you in, they promise you the world, and with a cherry on top. And then all of a sudden at the same time, you'll be surprised that you're really getting screwed. I kind of feel that this is the same kind of thing with, like, how it was with the NWA. Like, they were getting jacked. They were playing for peanuts. They were doing world tours and they were getting nothing. So I don't, and this isn't the first one that was complaining about this. So I just personally think that they're in this weird state until they get to this kind of balanced medium where it's going to be a flat rate, that this is what people are wanting as the professional to the business side. So that's where I'm kind of going off. So just wanted to get y'all's thoughts about this. Like, when you hear something like this?
So, yeah, I think this is going to be a good education point for a lot of streamers of all levels, especially when you start. You know, a lot of people get into this for the entertainment, to be able to play games, this and that. When you start getting and progressing in levels and you know what I mean, you start getting out there a little bit and stuff like that. You know, the business part of it is going to come into play. And I know for me, even, you know, within acting, photography and stuff like that, those are some of my weaker areas, things that I never even thought about. And an 80-20 contract is terrible.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't care. I mean, the way I see it is FaZe is acting as almost like a talent agent for Tfue, right? So if you put that into acting terms, what talent agencies maybe get 15-20% of everything they're booking you on stuff and whatnot. Like an 80-20 is crazy.
Yeah.
That is absolutely bonkers to me that somebody would accept a contract like that. You're only getting 20% of the work that you're putting in. They're getting 80%.
Yeah, but then
again, that's not the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, but like 3 years ago, there was no such thing as a professional gamer, or 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
It's very, very new. Is where it comes to, like, these people, like these people that have been either like, you know, either in the gaming underground kind of for the longest of time, kind of had this the most censor out of it, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of green fresh ears of people that are professional gamers but don't know the back end stuff, and I think that this would be the time of people taking people for granted and opportunities and stuff like that for this new people, like free money essentially, you know. I mean,
right. Yeah, and that's exactly right. And it's because it is again, and you know, it's still kind of on the bottom half of you know, it's still kind of on the ground floor building, and people are still learning and exploring. Not to mention, you know, these are pretty young kids. You know, I feel like myself, I'm on the older end, I guess you can say, of streaming and you know, getting into stuff. But a lot of people that are on here are young, so they haven't been exposed to contracts, things like that. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're dealing with stuff like that, I know me personally, I would have a lawyer take a look at it. I'm definitely reading it multiple times, just to make sure that I understand, you know, what I am, you know, agreeing to and what they're saying, and you know, not being afraid to say, wait a second, 80-20, you guys get 80% of my salary or 80% of what I make out of everything. And don't get me wrong, they make a claim, you know, a good claim for, hey, we made Tfue, he was only averaging about 100 viewers before he became a part of FaZe, and absolutely that is 100% correct. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna, but I mean, that's just a shitty ass contract, you know. And
did you see how long the contract is?
Yeah, huh?
No.
How long is the contract?
I think 3 years. They said. Oh. Wait. So it was a 6 month. It was 6 month period. If he auto re-signed after 6 months to 3 years to 36 months, is what the contract is. So so what they were saying was that he's basically,
when did that happen? Like, when they go into effect, like, how long is it into the contract?
Dude, this is like last year. Like, they're only like a year deep into the contract. Okay. Yeah. And like, they were saying that, like, basically he wanted out of the contract like immediately, because somebody probably said, what the hell are you thinking? That is a terrible contract.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You know, but I mean, again, you know, and I think what this boils down to as well is that, you know, again, FaZe Clan has certain sponsors that they're working with. He's gotten huge now. Now he's got all these other people that are coming at him like, hey, you know, blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. Hey, you can't do that because that's a conflict of interest with FaZe Clan sponsorship. Now he's getting salty, like, what do you mean, man? You're taking away my opportunities and this and that. You know, it's like, look, dude, you signed a contract. You knew what the obligations were, what it meant. You know, and he's only a year deep into this contract, and I think it's more of him just trying to be able to get out of it. Really. So, because they're supposed to be friends and this and that, but again, you know, friends become enemies real quick when money and contracts and stuff are involved.
But isn't it kind of weird to you that they would actually put the stipulation of saying, okay, 6 months, then it's going to auto renew for 3 years? That's quite crazy, in my opinion, or when I think about it. It's like, how do you sign something like that? Like, you're like, okay, so what would be the reason why you would say, no, I don't want to be with y'all anymore? Like, you would have to vocalize that yourself, or would you have to sign something or whatever to kind of say, to prove your dissatisfaction towards it? Because it's kind of weird that in the 6 months period that everything was all good and gravy, and then all of a sudden 6 months after that, when all these levels of endorsements and stuff, because I mean, he's always been up on the top. This wasn't like he gradually came up and stayed up there. He's been up on that ladder for a long period of time. So I don't understand, like, why, or like, it must have been like unless something random said, hey, Nike wants to make a team and he wants you to be the face of it. I don't know, but it just seems like it's out of nowhere, and that's where it's like, I don't know how you can not do that? Like, just like, I guess it's just maybe the logic frame of mind to me. It just doesn't seem like it makes sense to me, you know?
Well, usually when you have a contract, there are ways to break it. Have they talked about that at all? Because I'm sure there's probably a payout or something he can do. No. Like, well, if you break it, you gotta pay this much, and he might prefer that to go and do his thing. Or
I think the way that he kind of set this up is like he just wanted to burn the bridge, because like the way like when the bridge was burnt, and then when he put it out, because like the last thing you want to do is have everyone that doesn't know what's happening, because like I mean like us to criticize what's happening, because we don't have any of the information, but what we're hearing is like because I mean, and especially in the climate that we live in nowadays, where you're innocent until proven guilty, it's going to be like it's wildfire. It's like right now. So like until we get to that point where everything is out in the open and this is what's happening, which I'm pretty sure we're never going to hear. It's going to be like it's going to be out there. So but so I mean I don't know, man. It just seems so crazy to me that like what's going on. I'm kind of glad, like, when things like this happens, it makes things better in the future. So to be optimistic, I'm kind of glad that something like that has happened, because now the conversation is out here so now people in the future will not experience this in any way, you know. So like I feel that's the one good thing that's going to come out of this. But like what sucks is just like, man, you burned the FaZe is not a small group. FaZe is a very big clan that's been around forever, since Call of Duty and stuff like that.
They've got the clout. Yeah, they've got the clout.
They do. They like, it's like you don't want to mess. Like if unless you're having ready to be in a fight with a big conglomerate kind of level of group, right? Yeah, that's FaZe right there. So
damn, I feel like a loser not knowing who the hell FaZe was before this conversation.
Well, I mean,
I had no idea. I have no idea.
No, don't be that. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm just
too old. I'm too old.
Yeah, I mean, no, FaZe has been around for for years. They've been around for over. It had to have been at least Call of Duty 3.
Maybe I've seen FaZe. I just can't think of it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not bad. I mean, if you don't know them, you don't know them. I mean, you don't. It's not your whole level of thing. So. We'll see. I want to see where this is going to go. I really hope that the biggest thing is I hope that this changes for the better in the future. So things like this see consistency of things like this happening more commonly, you know, because I mean, I think for the most part, it's been fairly quiet on when you're hearing these kind of explosions when it comes to gaming side. So.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think as it becomes mainstream and becomes more popular, we'll start seeing people being educated on this stuff and saying, wait a second, here's the standard industry standard for a contract or whatever. It's still developing, it's still growing. People are, they're clearly taking advantage of people as far as with that stuff. So I think some sort of standards might be adopted. I think that's the best that can come from something like this. And then, he gets to go his way and make his million. FaZe keeps making their millions. Everybody's rich.
Well, I know he's not on the team anymore, but I don't know. Right. We'll see. But we'll see how this is going to go. So, alrighty. That is the end of our conversation. Is there anything inside the CFG Gamecast topics, Smitty?
There's nothing in the room, but I'm just going to put the question then to chat if there's anything that you guys saw this week that you guys want us to discuss or talk about. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's been a few things that happened this week as well. This was, the Tfue thing was definitely something that I had thought about talking about and whatnot. So it's interesting. Definitely an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I got a quick one.
Oh yeah.
A couple weeks back, I was on the show. I was helping out, and my topic was Sonic the Hedgehog movie. We were talking about how they are redesigning Sonic because he looks ridiculous.
Right.
And it was confirmed yesterday that he looks so ridiculous that it's going to take another year to make him look better. So the movie based off of a game is now delayed till 2020.
Yep.
So that's some update on that.
Well, I find funny about that though, because like I said something yesterday on private chat that when I saw that, I was like, I remembered when we were talking about that, and I said, I don't think this is going to last. This is going to come in 5 months. Like I literally said it.
Yeah.
And so I called. Yeah. So I messaged Smitty and Sesh about it, and then I said, it's like, hey, called it, and then I say. It's like, hey, can you pick up that phone? Because I freaking called it. Because it's like, yeah, because like I was like, that was just money, if anything. So.
We knew that. I mean, again, we're talking about the main character. There's no way they were going to be able to redo the main character. And basically, he's probably going to be in damn near every scene. You know what I mean? That's a lot of work and a lot of changes. There's no way that it's going to come out on time. I'm glad that they announced that early instead of waiting until like a month out and being like, oh, we mistimed it. We're going to need more time, because people will be like, so I'm fine with them calling it now and being like, look, we're going to have to take some time. We can go ahead and push it back.
I wonder if they're going to pull trailers now, because I just watched Detective Pikachu a couple days back. Mm-hmm. And I saw the trailer for Sonic, so I'm like wondering if they're going to start taking that trailer.
Well, they're definitely going to take the trailer off. Yeah, definitely, because I mean, it's like it's not coming out until it's not going to come. It's not going to look like that. And we have till February until it comes out again. So yeah, obviously. So
did they say February of next year?
It says
okay.
It says February of next year. Dude's coming.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. So this is y'all talk Game of Thrones already. It's like, no, we will not talk Game of Thrones.
Let's talk Game of Thrones.
I'm not talking Game of Thrones.
Let's do it. I'm a book reader and a watcher. Let's do it.
We're not talking Game of Thrones.
Oh, snap.
The show, the last episode was a disappointment, but could have been worse.
I want to. Okay,
I can talk for hours. Let's do it.
How about this? Okay, how about this specifically?
Oh, I'm joking. I know you guys don't want to talk about it.
We'll do this.
I know.
We could talk about Game of Thrones, but we have to give it. We got to give it a month. Or something, because I know some people will. Yeah, some people still don't want to see that. I mean, I'm not gonna ruin it for those people. So yeah.
I'm the same way. I am sensitive to that as well. So again, yep.
No, so we'll definitely talk Game of Thrones, and I'll put a pin on that. So day night, just let you know. So we are going to do that. But okay, we'll stop the stream over there. But definitely tune in. We're going to be back again next Saturday, Saturday evening on CFG Games on my Twitch, CFG Games. You can definitely check out Smitty's awesome content. Plays Overwatch and Division 2, Smitty2447, and Super Franky, who's currently playing some FF9, which is actually really fun to watch. So yeah,
I've been playing Final Fantasy 9. I'll be probably after this. I'll be on there myself, streaming it. So check it out.
Yes, awesome. So yeah, thank you so much, and as always, Franky, Smitty, thanks for stopping by and joining with the conversation. And
thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, and we will see you next week. This is Davis signing off. Y'all take it easy. Blowing kisses. Who are you?